So check your Air Canada app. The airline begins canceling flights today. This is ahead of a possible strike by its flight attendants set for Saturday morning.
It was a fairly expensive ticket, you know, even if I was to actually try to rebook it now with either with Air Canada or with a competitor, say a European airline, the price would be at least 3 times as much.
So that's at least one concerned Air Canada passenger talking about his dream trip being affected by cancellations. So what are your options if you book to fly on the airline in the next couple of days? Well, to answer that, we've brought in Jon Gradek from Montreal. He's a faculty lecturer of aviation management at McGill University and a regular with us here on Your Morning. Jon, we know the strike is going to affect flights, but how could the possibility of attendants walking off the job affect airports?
Morning, Anne-Marie. Airports are going to be in a situation where they're going to have to probably deal with hundreds, maybe even a couple of thousand people who haven't been able to get hold of Air Canada for a variety of reasons. You can imagine why. And want to come to the airport, talk to somebody at Air Canada to help them out and fix their travel arrangements. So it's going to be people who are looking to contact and have a conversation with Air Canada about their travel arrangements. And so that might be a different type of passenger showing up at the airport. It won't be affecting the airplanes or the operation of the airport, but it'll be some congestion at check-in and at ticketing at the airport.
Especially if the messaging that you're receiving either via your app or an email isn't very clear. I wanted to also ask you, so Air Canada has said that this is part of the reason they're canceling is because of issues outside their control, referring to the potential strike. But the airline also issued a lockout notice. So how is that not considered out of their control?
You're walking a very fine line when you say out of their control. You know, because the fact that the negotiations, the first step that was taken was by the union for a 12:58 on was it Tuesday, Wednesday morning?
Yeah.
It's all a blur. What can I say? You know, the union basically pulled the first pin on this one, and the airline is basically saying that was out of our control. But really, this is all part of negotiations. These negotiations are really led by the airline. The airline has basically abdicated the negotiation over the last 48 hours. So it's going to be an interesting point to say whether this is really out of the control of the airline or not.
You know who feels out of control? Are passengers. Either people who have not yet had a flight canceled or they're booked to fly during when the strike is supposed to happen. What is their best recourse, Jon, when they're either looking to get a hold of Air Canada? Are there any like keywords that you punch into the chat? Like, what's the best way to get a response and get some answers?
You know, going on the Air Canada reservation line is going to be a futile exercise. You're going to be waiting for a couple of hours and then you get hung up on and then start all over again. So that's useless. If you have a ticket bought by a travel agency, you know, that's your second best bet. But if you bought a ticket on the Air Canada website or on other Expedia or Travelocity websites, you're going to get a note from Air Canada telling you your flight's been canceled. Here are the flights that we found for you, and which one would you like? And then you have a choice. Basically, have that flight booked by Air Canada at Air Canada's expense, of course, or you can basically ask for a refund, and at no additional cost to you. So, you know, there are very few options. There's 125,000 people that Air Canada has to call every day as of Saturday, and it's going to be an outbound call, you know, mess. And I think a lot of patience is going to be required. Air Canada will probably not be able to find 125,000 seats in a competitive environment to satisfy their current traffic. So there may be a lot of passengers who basically have to cancel.
You know, something that was being shared a lot on social media is people, you know, sort of passenger to passenger help saying, listen, if you're going to book on another airline and you cancel, you don't get the refund. You need to wait for Air Canada to do the cancellation for you to be eligible for those two things that you said, either a rebook or a refund. Is that right?
That's correct. Don't initiate. You have to react to Air Canada's cancellation.
Jon Gradek, faculty lecturer of aviation management at McGill University. Lots to keep track of. Listen, I have 2 kids that we're trying to get from BC back to Ontario. They're booked for Air Canada on Sunday. I might see them Tuesday. We'll find out. Thanks, Jon.
Via rail.
Via rail. Do you know how much via rail is across the country, Jon? Anyway, here's
5 days. You're going to have a great time with 5 days on the train. Have a good day.
Yeah, John, you.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.